5-0, but that's too much. That's too much pressure. That's too much expectation. It's like, okay, so the first time he loses a game, is it like, oh, what were the 49ers thinking? They gave him all this money. Of course he's going to lose. Okay, he is, like you said, he's not the second coming.
Yes.
He's not. We don't know what he's going to be. We don't know who he's going to be. We don't know what direction the team is going to go. Do we have a blueprint? Possibly, we do. I mean, 5 games. And he looked good. I'm not going to lie to you. He looked very good.
Amazing.
Are you listening?
Ronbo Sports here, representing the Niner Empire organization worldwide. We're 49ers football leverage. You know, I don't know why I tell you that. Who else would be making all that noise before they get ready to talk 49er football? Hey, nobody better take my I'm the only one who gets to do that, by the way. Bam! Thank you for allowing me to come on in and talk some more 49er football. You know how much I enjoy our 49ers. And I know you're watching the NBA right now. Okay, I'll tell you what. Make you feel better. Warriors in 7, right? And to win the championship, too, against Boston. Football! I'm here to talk football. Hey, fam, please tell me you're getting over the dislike for Mrs. Sherman's baby boy, Richard. Come on now. You know you like Richard Sherman. I didn't like Richard Sherman either, okay? You know this. There was not a 49er fan that's really a 49er fan that loved any Richard Sherman. I love me some Richard Sherman. Ooh, it's easy to say, too. In the beginning, I was cautious, but I love me some Rich. Rich, I love you, man. Hey, Jay, do that. Say it. It'll make you feel better. Say, I love you, Rich. Rich is out there, got that defense looking really. I mean, he's working them. And now that Akello Witherspoon has found out he's an Aries just like Richard, they've developed a bond together. Since they're going to be playing opposite each other side to side, and stopping the offenses from scoring points and scoring touchdowns. And Rich, I'm telling you right now, look for something great from that dude. We have gotten very, very lucky here, fam. Because I think Richard Sherman's going to look better this year than he has in the past years because he was playing. If you've ever had heel spurs, boy, that slows a person down. Those are removed. The Achilles is healing up. He's out there running hard. I'm telling you, we got something coming in that Richard Sherman. And his impact on this team, I mean, he's going to have that secondary playing way above their heads. I already know it because they don't want to disappoint him. If they're going to be on the same team with Richard Sherman, they're going to want to make Richard Sherman real proud. Richard Sherman is exactly what Jimmy G was when he first arrived at the airport, coming in from Boston to come in and join the 49ers. Everybody respects him because he's got that pedigree. And I know what you're saying. Jimmy G never stepped out of field during the course of a playoff. But here's the thing. He was still a part of one of the most polished organizations in football. Everybody respected him in that locker room. And that's the same thing Richard Sherman's got. We got 2 guys now that can bring that kind of attitude, and that is so essential in a winning team. Because you know our locker room has been shambles for the last 3 years. Now our locker room is a model of what a winning team should look like. Ooh. And speaking of Richard Sherman and Jimmy Garoppolo, it appears that Richard Sherman's influence is having some effect already. Do you know in OTAs, you probably already know, OTAs the other day, it was Solomon Thomas and DeForest Buckner that got a sack in on Jimmy G. Now, they didn't actually grab him physically. If you don't, you may not. Let me explain it to you really quickly. If you get within a few feet of the quarterback during this particular time of season, during training, it's constituted as a sack. So they got within that distance, and they called it a sack. Because you and I both know if it was real, Jimmy G would have felt the pressure, he moved out, and he made a play. But they got the 2 sacks. Don't tell DeForest and Solomon they didn't get the sacks. They got the sacks. But as Solomon says, when Sherman talks, everybody listens. It's having an effect. Everybody's playing BALLS to the wall. So there you go. Here's another thing, too. Patrick Holloway, Niner Noise. He reported, as he was there the other day, that downfield, Jimmy didn't have any targets. Now, first of all, downfield, our guys, we only got a couple because Jimmy didn't have a target to throw to. Okay, that's why the sacks occurred. We're going to see a lot of that next season during the season anyway. This is what the 49ers front office is planning. If we're not going to get any more edge rushers, make sure that secondary is so tough that quarterback's got to hesitate. That's all the time our guys need to get to that quarterback. You're going to see a different situation with that rush this year. More about that in a second, but here's the thing. The only guys who were getting way downfield was the man that no human can cover, Marquise Goodwin. Jimmy hit him several times, in fact. And of course, Jerick McKinnon, another guy that moves at lightning-like speed. Speed is the theme in San Francisco right now. With or without pads. I'm not going to make too much of it right now because they don't have the pads on. But I love the thought of nobody being able to keep up with certain people. You can put all the pads on Marquise Goodwin you want to. Nobody's going to hang with Marquise Goodwin. I got a feeling this year he's going to be as effective as Pete Garcon. We could have that 1-2 punch of 1,000 yards. I can make that prediction right now. I'm feeling it. You're going to start feeling it soon if you ain't already. So I got that already planned, and as I say, oh, man, I like offense, defense, we are potent. Who's going to the Pro Bowl? We'll have to see later. And another thing about the defense, Kyle Shanahan, some real food for thought for those who are still concerned about the pass rush. Shanahan explained very carefully. What you had last year was 3-4 players coming into a 4-3 system. They have to adapt. They've got to segue. They've got some new things to learn. They're having to adapt a whole new system, which means they're going to have to do things they're not used to. They're not in their comfort zone. That was last year. This year, Kyle has said things like, oh, we're not having to tell them to do anything now. I mean, our coaching staff is looking over there. They're getting themselves ready. They know what they've got to do, and they're moving at a speed that looks like people who know what they're doing. Because you see, the offense doesn't care if you don't know the defensive scheme you're trying to do. If you can't do it, boom, bang, boom, they're going to just run on past you and do whatever they want to do. That ain't going to be happening this year. This is why you look for that pass rush to be more effective. You saw the state of the franchise yesterday, right? I am becoming such a huge fan of Robert Saleh. I mean, you got Joe Staley jumping on the stage and being Joe Staley, Mr. Entertainer, man. And Robbie Gould should be doing stand-up comedy. You check him out. Robbie Gould was just ragging on everybody. It was hilarious. But there was Robert Saleh sitting there cool and calm. Didn't have a lot, he's not that kind of a noisy kind of guy. He's just sitting there, and they finally get around to ask him a few questions. And Saleh, Saleh could be a great gangland leader. Saleh's sitting there very strong and calm looking. He says with a little smirk on his face as he speaks softly, as you know. And he just says, yes, you can look for the defense probably look a lot better this year. Look for them to be violently faster. I got such a rush from that. You know how I got to fight, not holler. I'll almost let it. Saleh's a bad man. I'm telling you, man, he's got them dudes violently faster. This is the same guy. He's violently faster. He's the same guy who come in last season talking about all gas, no brakes. General Saleh! Fam, before I get myself too worked up, oh man, I'm getting foamed up now. Let me now go to the cam and see what in the 49ers is going on with you. Now, fam, I know how you're looking at the camera. You thought Ronbo would come in here with another dude. He's going to talk crazy, get all macho, all testosterone. No. We bring in the estrogen today. Our name is, well, what is your name?
I would be Miss TJ. Yes, they know me in 49ers circles here in the ATL. Yes, I'm either Miss 49ers or TJ.
See that.
But my name is Tina Jackson. Thank you so much for having me on the show, Ronbo.
Appreciate you, TJ. You remind the reason why I was watching you. She reminds me of me. She just gets loose on there. She's having a good time, laughing and carrying on. Good.
We're talking about sports. We're talking about the 49ers. What could be better than that?
That's what I'm talking about. And TJ, you do something special each and every Wednesday, too, that I'm really impressed with. You bring the ladies. And you cover more than one sport with 49ers. You see her jersey. She is definitely a 4-9 fan. TJ, tell the ladies what you be doing. Give us a little brief on that.
Well, I would love to do that, Ronbo. Each and every Wednesday night from 9 to 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch LL Sports 2 with TJ, your host, TJ. It's just a sports show. It's for everyone, but we do cater to the novice female sports fan because we are trying to help educate the ladies on the fundamentals of baseball, basketball, and football.
See how well-rounded she is. She not only does she cover football, but she can cover baseball and basketball. She's got to be going nuts right now.
I try.
NBA and everything else going on too. TJ, what you ought to do is do some WWE too. See, that would be hilarious.
Oh, I used to cover WWE. Well, not cover. I'm sorry.
But keep paying attention.
I used to follow. I used to love WWE back in the, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Undertaker. Was it Triple H? The all those guys.
They were more fun back then, TJ. I don't blame you.
Yeah.
Now they're all really acrobatic. Vince McMahon seems to move them into more of an acrobatic act. They do a lot of things, and they don't know how to talk crazy like they used to. The Rock.
Exactly. That's when it started going down for me. When The Rock started coming in and he took over. Love The Rock now. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, he is special.
Yeah.
But TJ, let's get to the 49ers. TJ,
all right.
Camp OTAs is underway. Each and every year, we have 2 or 3 guys that come in and they look like this is going to be the next best thing. Last year, Matt Breida tore up in rookie minicamp, and he just kept it going right on. I remember them saying things like, this is the best player in this is the best rookie we got, period. So I said, whoa, that's saying something. It could be the same this year. Could you make a prediction this year as to who's going to be the man coming right out of camp?
You know what, Ronbo? One thing I pride myself on is being truthful and making sure that I have my facts together.
Please.
And on this note right here, I'm going to have to be truthful and let you know I have absolutely no idea who is going to be who is going to be the star out of camp this year. But I tell you what I will be looking for, and it's probably a little bit of a different spin. We all know the storyline, the issues, the problems that Reuben Foster has been going through. And we also know what type of talent that he is. It reminds us 49er fans of another talented linebacker, number 99, used to wear the number 99, who's went through his issues. So what I'm really, really looking forward to this OTA's offseason, the camp, is to see how Reuben Foster goes through this period with everything that he's been accused of and just the charges, because I truly believe he's an innocent man in this situation. But to have your career, to have your name tarnished, to have your career in jeopardy, you can only go one or two ways. Either you're going to take advantage of this opportunity to prove people wrong, or you can succumb to the pressures of it and, end up like number 99. How bad that was.
And he's taking it to another level too. I really do think Alden Smith needs to be psychologically evaluated, because I really sometimes think he's lost his mind.
I don't want to go that way. I really don't, because I know his family. And his mom is just, I do. I know his mom. I know his aunts. Actually, they used to come to our tailgates here in Atlanta and travel with us. So I know he comes from good upbringing. He comes from prayer warriors. So this is something that he is struggling with. It has to be on his own. And until he wants to get it together, it's not going to happen. And obviously he has no drive or the wherewithal wanted to get it together. But Reuben Foster, I want him to be a positive story. I want this to be
maybe a role model, because you know what? With Reuben, we're going to find out. I really think this is going to scare him straight. This is a lot of trouble to go through, TJ.
I hope so.
I can't imagine wanting to go through this anytime soon again. So I got a feeling we may have a good citizen coming up, because Navarro Bowman, it wasn't quite this severe, but understand he's another famous linebacker that had issues in the beginning of his career. Look what happened to him.
Yeah. So, it can happen. It can happen. But like I said, this is a testament to his character. So it's going to go one or two ways. Either he's going to straighten up and fly right. And like I said, he's going to prove everybody, the naysayers, all the fans who jumped on him, all that, he's going to prove them wrong and be like, listen, I've worked too hard to get this far to let it slip away. Or he's just going to be another knucklehead in the league. And you know how that is.
He's so talented. Well, TJ,
I know.
now there's another matter I wanted to get your opinion on. It
Yeah.
seems as that Scott McCloughan, who
Mm.
never says anything about what the 49ers have been doing the last few years, and I imagine it has something to do with the fact that he was upseated by Trent Baalke. But this year,
Mm.
since Baalke's not around, he's already gone.
I was gonna say, how did that turn
Yeah,
out?
you know, and Scott's probably sitting there thinking, I knew he didn't know what he was doing. But McLuhan is endorsed and actually praised the picking of one McGlinchey, the guy we got in the first round.
Right.
Big Mike is he's impressed with. Also, Fred Warner, the kid we picked up in the third round, linebacker. And
Okay.
his talent evaluation is something I've always respected. And Trent Baalke made, as I mentioned, made us appreciate him even more. We're going to lose. I'm making this prediction now, 49er fans. We need to get ready because, number one, when you look at Martin Mayhew and you look at Adam Peters, they're too good. They are the minds behind what John's going to be good because he's been around the league for a long time. He's a football player and he's a Hall of Fame player. But I'm thinking he's getting help from these guys. Would you, after knowing what we know about Scott McCloughan, if when we lose the other two gentlemen I just mentioned, would you think Scott McCloughan would be a good draft counselor at least for John?
I would say yes and no. Let me explain.
Okay.
Yes, I do think he should maybe have him, like you said, maybe as a counselor, or have him as what's the word I'm looking for? But just have him to bounce ideas off of. But I do believe that for this regime to work, you have to trust your instincts.
Yeah.
You have to possibly, I don't want to say bring in new blood, but I mean, because, let's be real, if it's not broke, don't fix it. But you can't always rely on what worked in the past because we are in a new regime right now. But have him as a co-counsel, just as an ear to
Or maybe
go through.
consultant capacity.
That's the word I'm looking for, consultant. Exactly, consultant.
Yeah.
But to bring it back in the fold, to have him there. And like I said, he was there when we Super Bowl run, all of that. But I think everything has a season. I think every time and every person and every place has a season. So if we're going to start this off, because you know what's going to happen if it doesn't go good. Oh, well, they should have got rid of, McLaughlin. They should have maybe. I don't know. So just don't give the naysayers any ammunition to use against you.
Because they can't wait to say things anyway. And Scott is
Exactly.
and you're right too. You keep Scott in a position where he can't implode or end up at the happy hour at 11 o'clock in the morning. So because it's a truth. It's an issue he has, and you don't want to have to depend on somebody like that because, like we just mentioned with Alvin Smith, who's also having vices that he can't control, and apparently Scott does too. So you want to make sure that that's in a place where it can't really destroy you, but you can use and draw from him. Because I'd like to bring Alvin Smith back in as a coach actually in a few years. People won't respect him right now.
Exactly.
It's true.
Yeah, we're gonna have to give him a couple. Like you said, a few years.
Hey, TJ, Jimmy G,
Yes, sir.
everybody's favorite name.
Ooh.
Are we expecting too much? We've turned him into the Messiah. I'm a little worried about it. At times I get carried away. I'm trying to tone it, walk it back a little bit sometimes myself. I'm worse than some people. But what do you think?
Yes, I totally agree. I mean, let's be real. Jimmy G, he came in. He had 2 starts. He was 2-0 when he came in. Yes, he won our last 5 games for us, or we contributed. Okay, because we had one before he came.
That was it too.
But yeah, he's 5-0. But that's too much. That's too much pressure. That's too much expectation. It's like, okay, so the first time he loses a game, is it like, oh, what were the 49ers thinking? They gave him all this money. Yeah, of course he's going to lose. Okay, he is, like you said, he's not the second coming. Yes. He's not. We don't know what he's going to be. We don't know who he's going to be. We don't know what direction the team is going to go. Do we have a blueprint? Possibly. We do. I mean, 5 games. And he looked good. I'm not going to lie to you. He looked very good.
Amazing.
And it's not like he beat, just some not say scrub. You can't be scrub teams in the NFL. But
thank you for mentioning that. That is I get tired of people saying, well, some of the teams they beat.
Yeah, He beat the Jacksonville Jaguars, okay?
Yeah,
And at the time, they were ranked the number one
that's right.
defense. So, and it's not easy to beat your divisional foes. Let's be real. You see them twice a year. They know you. You know them. You know their tendencies. But one thing that you can rely on when you have a new player like a Jimmy G or the rookies or whatever, you don't have film on them or as much film. So that's going to go out the window. Teams are going to be able to plan for him and to strategize for him. But is he a spark? Is he a glimmer of hope, a glimmer of light? Oh yes, oh yes. Don't get me wrong. Now I'm excited, but let's be real. He's a quarterback in the NFL. You have to have more than a quarterback. We have to have the line to protect him. We have to have the receivers that will be in their spots to catch the ball. We have to have the defense that can stop the other team from scoring. So, it's all a team.
Yeah.
That's why it's the 32 players. But is he a glimmer of hope? Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Huge.
But it's too much hype.
It really is, and it's got out of control. It's at times even I realize, and I'm the worst hype machine in the world. I get so excited. I just think we're getting 16-0. Then I had to calm down, and I listen to other people talk about we're going 14-2. Then I realize how silly that sounds. You know what? We need to calm down. We're just getting really.
Well, it's not too silly. It's not too silly. Don't forget, not too long ago, 13-3.
I know, right?
Jim Harbaugh, first season. It can
And
happen.
everybody thought the same thing that year. There it is. I just got TJ to commit. We're going 13-3.
At least. At least.
Yes. Because see, I'm saying 12-4, I'm getting arguments. So, and sometimes I find myself drawing back just to appease the person I'm talking to. Because, some people get upset when you disagree with them about
Can't
things.
do that. Can't do that. Stay true to your convictions, Ronbo. That's what makes you you.
Thank you, TJ, for that encouragement. Ooh, and TJ, you mentioned something too about teams will have film and that type of thing. Do you realize this is what gives us an advantage in that Viking game, which I believe is going to be the toughest game for the first 10 that we're going to play. If the Vikings don't know what's coming, we got a new system because you got Jimmy along with a couple of other receivers. Garcon's back.
Yes.
You got Jared McKinnon out there. I don't think I'm
Yes.
thinking we win that first game, TJ. We roll, and we roll. God knows.
All you need is that first one. If we pick up right where we left off, which is in that winning mode, beat the Vikings, it's all about momentum. What did Hammer say? Gaining momentum.
He just got the moves and everything.
And I will be at that game.
Are you going to the Vikings game? All right.
I'm going to, yes. My best friend is a Vikings fan, so she hit me up as soon as the schedule came out. She was like, all right, Tina, what we doing? Book it.
There you go. She is on.
Yes.
She's going to be the good luck charm in this game, I can tell right now. So Vikings, 49ers, we're going to win that game. Tina agrees at 13-3 is not out. Tina, you're my kind of people, I tell you right now.
Speak it. I'm a firm believer. Speak it into existence.
I'm going to leave links for Tina. You can get her right on we're going to leave links for Tina right in the description section where you can find her. And
Definitely.
Yeah. Go ahead. You want to add something to that?
I was just going to let them know, like I said, Wednesday nights, 9 to 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can give me a call at 347-826-7924, or you can hit me up on Facebook Live. Tina D. Jackson is the name.
Tina, you know what? And also, do you get a lot of ladies that really, because you're probably putting yourself in their mind as a mentor, as they probably do want to learn. There's a lot of ladies who want to know more about sport. They just don't know because the guys are running around and they're getting all excited. Girls are probably looking at us like, oh, with y'all.
And the key with women is they don't know when to ask. They want to ask during the game. And it's like, no, that's not the best time to ask. You have to, you can't ask at halftime. Can't ask during a commercial because, we have things that we have to do during a commercial. You have to get your drink refilled or, get your snacks. At halftime, you may have to go to the bathroom, whatever it is. So they don't know when to ask. That's the main problem.
You're applying your own experience. This is something that you, at the beginning, before you started all this, what motivated you to go into this kind of action?
Honestly, Ronbo, it was because I was always like the male. I could understand the female's point because I was there with their significant others at the bar watching the game. And I know how I am. A lot of men do not respect the fact that there are women out here who love sports. We're not there to try to pick up a man. We're not there to be seen. We're not there to just, whatever the case that, or the things that they
Oh, yeah.
think. There are women out there who really love sports. So I know when I'm out watching the game, I don't want to be bothered when it's third and, third and four, or
And the game on
it's
the
fourth
line.
and
Yeah.
one, and exactly, or we're about to kick the winning field goal, or even if we're down by 20. I don't want to talk to you. My team is losing. Okay, let me embrace this and just watch my team lose. So I just thought about all the things that women who don't know. It's not that they don't want to know about sports. They just don't have anybody to
To move on.
talk to them or teach them. Yeah. So I just thought, hey, what about a show for ladies who want to know about sports? Now, if you don't want to know anything about it, this isn't for you. But if you want to learn about sports and, learns the ins and outs, the fundamentals, hey,
And,
call
and
me
Tina,
up.
I think dudes should listen too. Did you hear, guys, underline that part where Tina said, listen, we come in to watch sports. We're not looking to get picked up so you can stop. So, if you see a lady at the bar and the conversation moves naturally or organically, but don't come in there thinking the only reason she's here is to find you. Some guys got egos like that, they get out of control.
This
Because
is
this
true.
lady sitting down in the bar, she must be looking for me.
Yes,
So,
yes.
Yeah, in fact,
And they,
what was your most exciting moment, though, as far as watching football, the 49ers? Can you recall upon something that you really, really enjoyed the game? I mean, when did you first become a 49er fan, though?
I first became a 49er fan. I'll put it like this. I've watched football pretty much all my life. My dad played football. And so I've always been a fan. And I was a fan of, because I've lived in several different states. So I cheered for the Chiefs. I cheered for the Saints. And I never cheered for the Bears, though. But I am a Bulls fan. Go Bulls. But but I would have to say it was in '96 that I laid the other teams down, and it was just strictly, the Niners. I will admit it was urged on by a male. My man at the time, he was a diehard, devoted 49ers fan, and we actually made a bet. He lost, and the way that I, just kind of, just kept at it and kept at it. I was like, how can you just be like that over, just because you lost? He was like, Tina, you just don't understand. And at that moment, I was like, well, I wonder why I don't understand. That was in, like I said, 95, 96. And ever since then, when you are just devoted to one team and their success or their failures, the rises, the falls, the wins, the losses, when you get to know the players, when you get to know the strategy and just, how your team operates, and when they're not playing to their capabilities, but then when it's just like, oh, it's our day, there's no way we can lose. So, yeah, it all happened in 1996.
I am just infatuated with this. I mean, this is fascinating to see a lady that knows this much about the game. And look at her go, and she gets into it with emotion. Tina knows.
Yeah.
There you go. You got to tune in Wednesdays.
I love it.
And Tina, you got to make a prediction, too, on this season. How well are the 49ers going to do, though? I mean, you said 14-2, but 13-3.
I said 13-3.
Now, who do you see us losing to then? Because who do you see? Because I have a problem with the Chargers. I'm concerned with the Vikings. And Green Bay always seems to be, because they have Aaron Rodgers. But everybody said, don't worry about Aaron Rodgers. The defense is lacking on that team. There's no reason why he's only another man. So.
Yeah, but hasn't the defense been lacking for a while, and they always seem to manage to pull it out?
See that?
It's Aaron Rodgers.
I'm warranted and worried about that,
But honestly though, Ronbo, I think it's going to be the Rams. That's the team that I am most concerned with, because they are in a win now mentality, and the pieces of the puzzle that they are placing in their arsenal. I mean, they're already tough to beat because it's a divisional game. But the pieces that they went, and I'm hoping that this Aaron Donald holdout
continues.
Hopefully it continues. But he held out last year too, and you see it didn't do it.
He gets him the defensive player of the year. But I do see chinks in the armor, because you see what I do see with that team is the fact that Ndamukong Suh is 32 now, and he hasn't been the same since he left Detroit.
True.
But
he has something to prove.
But it may be that, like you say, Aaron Donald only needs somebody to draw attention to make him a little more different. Yes. That is the one thing that I am concerned with. But we did pick up Weston Richburg, who doesn't struggle against the Ndamukong Suh for whatever reason. And then we picked up also the guy, Jonathan Cooper, who I've got high hopes in it, and maybe be able to deal with Aaron Donald. I'm not sure what Joshua Garnett's going to be able to do. But these are some of the players that I'm trying to make it sound like we should have no trouble. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, of course. Well, as a fan, we think that we can handle any and all situations. But I pride myself in being a realistic fan. I know I have those friends and everything. They're like, Niners, we're going to win each and every game. And then I'm like, okay, calm down, Kimo-san. But I try to pride myself in being realistic. But my thing is, like I said, we have the nucleus. I do believe we have the nucleus. We have our quarterback in place. If the coaching staff can play to our strengths, that's the only. I think by week 4 or 5, we'll know which direction we're going in, because we'll have time to, implement the new pieces of the puzzle, and we should be able to see if they're coming together. One of my main things, though, is coming out of camp healthy.
Ooh.
We have to start the season healthy, and I'm just talking about no season-ending injuries, because I don't know if you've noticed or what's been happening, but lately it's like the last 4 or 5 seasons, and you have key people. You have like key milestones of people that are going down before the season even starts, and it's like, what's going on? But getting off track. But if we can start the season healthy, I say by week 4 or 5, we'll know what direction is, and as long as our coaching staff plays to the strength of our personnel.
There you go. She underlined the whole thing right there. We can stay off the injury list, and some of the guys that are unknown on our roster, I mean, a lot of people don't know about them because they're new names in the NFL.
They're new, but that's what training camp's for.
And they're young, and they just came in. Maybe let's see what we got. And then those of us who are unrealistic can deal with people like Tina who are realist about this, and they are not going to accept from us that we're going to steamroll the NFC West.
Skip the NFC West. We're going to just go over Philadelphia. We're going to go over Minnesota.
Philadelphia.
The Saints are still. I'm telling you, it's some competition. The East. I'm sorry, not the East. The AFC. I'm still in basketball mode. The AFC. They've been the, kind of like the top dogs for a while. Your Patriots, your Steelers. Now Jacksonville is coming up. AFC. You have to give them their props there,
true.
but NFC. We're coming back.
Winning that Super Bowl.
We're coming back. And the NFC West will dominate once again.
She left you with that. You got to feel good about that, Tina. It's time to give us that holla, because we just got through winning this game. In fact, it's the NFC Championship game. We played the Rams the last game of the season, right? Tina, 3, 2, 1 with the chant. 3, 2, 1.
And that's another 49ers first down. Ah-ooh, ah-ooh, ah-ooh.
Thank you, TJ. Don't she remind you of me? I know her. Shameless, Ron. Shameless. I'm talking about her attitude, her personality, her smile. I'm playing. TJ, I love you. I'm telling you right now, I'll be back to you a little later. Fam, more fun coming up this weekend. But of course, as we talk about the OTAs as they're developing and the things that are going on as well, you need the Ronbo Sports app to check in and be able to get involved with all the fun we're going to have. So do it. Ronbo Sports app, you need it. I will see you watching the notifications. I can come in anytime in the middle of the night, early in the morning. It don't matter. I love to talk 49 football. Breathe, Ronbo. Breathe. Count me down.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You'll never have the sacred
Oh, this you crazy mother.